What up, y'all? What up, what up, what up? What it do? I'm Miss Indigo Blue. Thanks for stopping through to my reading. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back again and again and again. Currently live on Facebook and Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Lady Fat Sacks and on Facebook at Zen Mother's Garden. Going live. Videos will be reposted to YouTube on the Zen Mother's Garden channel. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We are continuing our reading for the week of June 11th through the 17th. This is a bridge crossing reading. So there's going to be a few changes coming up because these bridges are so connected, right? Or this is just this section of this bridge and this section of this bridge, and it helps you to get across. But the message is still kind of the same, because if you haven't taken the steps that were put in front of you last week, you either got to get to those steps, but these are going to be some of the reasons why you're not taking the steps, right, that we're coming up with when we're doing the guidance reading. And then on this healing portion of the reading, we are trying to work through those blockages to see exactly what we can do different to get us across these bridges faster, more efficiently, and just to stop feeling stagnant if we're feeling stagnant, to change our course of action if that's what we want to do. It just depends on how you are attempting to make changes. So this is about yin and yang, right? Getting to that zen where we have that balance of masculine and feminine, and we're trying to get in harmony with the earth, and so that we are putting our best selves forward. We're not allowing outside interference to take us off course or make us feel like we have to follow a course that's not one that is in connection to our soul purpose. So we're going to go ahead and welcome in energies of earth, air, fire, and water. Let us create a life of beauty, reverence, and wonder. With each season, let us rejoice through every phase of sun and moon. Let us be in harmony in every direction. Shall we offer our love? Great Spirit, Mother Creator, bless this earth through my life, source of all nourishment. We seek to replenish your sacred world. Guide us now through these images, words, and feelings within as we reach into the wholeness. Let all that is needed be known. All right, so we are still working with this card from the Wild Kuan Yin deck. This is the number 44, Wild with Red Rider, Blessing Bestowed. This card told us, basically, it said you don't need a plan. Just go out there and see what you run into. Sometimes we are so busy making a plan that we never get to the action. If you decide that you need a plan, you need structure, and that's what you have actually been lacking, then you can create a plan, but make it be something that stirs up what you've been doing. Don't try and to just organize the stuff that you've already been doing and make it make more sense. But actually throw a kink in there, throw that monkey wrench in there, and mix it up a little bit so that you can experience some type of change. And so that is what we are working on. Some of the blockages that we saw in yesterday's reading come up were rejection, sexual arts, and self-sabotage. So in that reading, we were saying the self-sabotage is you allowing yourself to feel rejected and to put what somebody thinks or feels ahead of how you are going to go forth in your own happiness. Also, not being creative enough, not getting down in there and just being willing to be an individual, stand out amongst the crowd, be your own kooky self, your own silly self. If you're a very serious person and everybody else is just laid back, own that. Own whoever you are, and don't let anybody tell you that it's wrong, because confidence is key, right? So this came out during the full moon, and we're between moons right now, so we're going to keep going ahead and reciting that confidence is my key to success based off that card, and then expect powerful change. So I'm expecting powerful change, and when this change comes to me, my key to success is me having confidence in myself, which is why we are reciting also the affirmation, I take actions daily that awaken my personal power. And we see here this very yellow card, which is indicative indicative of the solar plexus, which is how you express yourself outwardly and how you create what is mirroring back to you. So what energy are you putting out there? What are you telling the world to think about you, to feel about you? And not that you care what they think about you or feel about you, but just how are you representing yourself in this moment in time. Other things that really came into play was being, in sync with the energies that the earth is currently going to. We had twice in this message harmony coming up. Then also these two cards were speaking about a party and a celebration. So if you have some big party or celebration to go to, a lot of people have birthdays coming up, but this is also like wedding season, graduation season, and all of those types of things. These are going to be opportunities for courses of life to change. Like when people graduate high school, they're going seemingly from, childhood, teenager to adulthood. And now you got to start getting more responsible, whether you decide to go to college or whether you decide to start working, whatever, you're starting to put yourself on that course of action. But stop and celebrate what got you to this point first. A lot of times we just are so asphyxiated on what we're doing next that we don't take time to celebrate. And that taking time to celebrate is a very important part that restores balance. Because if you're just all work, and no play, then the redundancy of it all can really start to wear on you. Also, you would be leaving a portion of yourself unused. Like you would be not expressing that feminine aspect because you were so focused on the masculine aspect, which then is going to create imbalance. And the goal here is to just really stay balanced. So now we're going to read the healing process on this card. It is, again, the number 44. We're standing on our own 2 feet, and us standing on our own 2 feet is going to take us into a beautiful, infinite timeline that is up. It's up. You ready to get on that timeline where it's up? Let's go. The healing process. Place one hand on your heart, whichever hand feels right for you at the time. Imagine there is a light glowing in your heart and that you can feel, sense, or imagine that light gently warming and soothing the palm of your hand. Say the following prayer. Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. I call upon the wild grace, intervention, and mantra of beloved Kuan Yin. I open my wild, divine heart to your beautiful corrective grace. I receive your presence unconditionally and trust in the outcomes unfolding for my highest good. May I have the courage to honor my aliveness beyond my need for familiarity. May I have enough love within me to treasure life and to wish for liberation for myself and all beings. May I become more of my true wild divine self and thrive in the wild freedom and grace of life itself. Through your compassion and my own free will, so be it. Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. You have completed your healing process. So the key factor in this to me is you having to rewild yourself, put life back into yourself. So it's most likely that whatever journey you were on before this, it kind of was a sucking energy. You probably were overanalyzing everything you did, not just during that part of your life, but even before. And then the thoughts and your hopes for the future probably were really confusing and scrambled because there were so many thoughts in your head. Some people have got to a point where they've collected so many things. Like we've all seen that TV show Hoarders, or at least heard of it or seen a commercial. So those people have just started stuffing their home, and your home is a reflection of your body. So they just started stuffing their homes with all these things until it wasn't just things. Now it's garbage animal feces and stuff that's very harmful to them. And it's the same thing that, you can do with your mind and your brain. You can start reliving all of these experiences and start looking at yourself in a negative way. And how did I end up here? Oh, I deserved it because I did that, or all of this stuff. But you didn't feel like that when it happened. You know what I'm saying? And so why now are you starting to feel like you need to do such a course correction? And why now are you feeling like you need to be so hard on yourself? And I've been guilty of that too. I had one of my friends saying, you're being really hard on yourself. And I didn't think I was being really hard on myself. All I was trying to do was trying to get an understanding. But some things should be left misunderstood. Like, just leave it where it's at. Is it hurting anybody? Is it hurting you? Is it causing any type of harm? No, you can't feel like you just totally disrupted the universe, right? You can't feel like you just threw everything off course with this one teeny tiny little action that you did. So it's time now to free yourself from all the thoughts, all the clutter. Some people, it's going to actually be physical clutter. How much stuff is in that garage? How much stuff is in that basement? How much stuff is in that backyard that's actually trash, garbage, broken, doesn't work? How many clothes are in that closet that you haven't put on in the last 3 years and you waiting for what type of event to go to? Either put it on and wear it and go for a walk down the street, or get rid of it. Like, it's taking up a space in your mind. So I've been saying this for the last couple years, that everything that we have is a thought. Before you purchased it, it gave you a thought. I can wear this to such and such, or this is nice, or this is cute, or I like this, or I like that. It resonated with you in that moment, and it still might. I love this though. I just haven't had anywhere to wear it to. Just put it on and just wear it, because it's collecting dust. By the time you go to put it on, it's going to be dust. You're going to put the shoe on, the shoe going to fall apart. You can put the necklace on, the necklace going to be rusty and fall apart. You're going to put the shirt on and the buttons going to fall off, because it's just been sitting there getting old. And things that sit and get old, have you ever seen houses that are not tended to and they're just sitting there? The house will do better with anybody in it. Even if they somebody who tearing it up, then it will just sitting there rotting. So it's time to clean out the closet. It's time to decide what's going with you in the future, and then just get rid of everything else. But most importantly, it's time to throw them clothes on and just go out there. And for me, I've been seeing these visions of, or having these thoughts of, going to places that I wouldn't normally go to, but why have I pegged them places that I wouldn't go to? What is it that I'm either thinking about the environment that the place is in, the people that I think that go there, etc., when I haven't even been there yet? So part of this too is going to change the way that you see things that you really are unfamiliar with. Going to a country, there's certain countries that they've told us is not good for women and children to go to. You might go and be welcomed with open arms and like, why did they say it was so bad here? I really love it. It's just going to be a lot of just going and testing it out and allowing yourself to be open and limitless to the possibilities. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some things that might be bothering you this week. We have fatigue, and what can help you with fatigue would be like ginseng. Let's see, I got ginseng in here. Dry brushing your skin. So get your lymphatic system moving. You guys know that I am a pro at this. I had to work on my lymphatic system really heavily a couple years ago. So there's just certain things that you can do. The more fruits and vegetables that you eat are going to be better for you, even better than drinking a whole bunch of water when it comes to your lymphatic system, because too much water in your lymphatic system then can lead to more edema. So fruits and vegetables are natural diuretics that can help cleanse your system out. Again, the dry brushing. So you just take like a shower brush and not wet, and just dry brush your skin. Find a video on YouTube or something like that that's going to show you in which direction you should be brushing towards, so that you are actually sending the lymph towards your lymph nodes, and then it can make its way out of your body. It will increase your urine output, and sometimes it can also make it feel like your heart starts to race when you are getting your lymphatic system moving a little bit faster. Other things that you can do while you're in the shower is turning the water from hot to cold. Hot to cold, it's going to allow your vessels to dilate and restrict, and that helps to act like a pump. And then you could wrap your legs with regular ACE bandages. Don't really work. So if you don't have like lymphatic drainage wraps, then that might be something that you don't want to do, but you can wear compression stockings or compression garments, and then that helps get your lymphatic system moving as well. Reduce salt, sugar, and even meat has inflammatory things in it, as well as processed food. So all of those things can help you, and that will getting your lymphatic system working better helps to work on fatigue. Get some more sleep. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? Like if you are running, get some more sleep. But maybe try to do something different, like wake up earlier in the morning than you normally do. And if you're not, at a job or something, midday, maybe get a midday nap, and then have your evening kind of make your day into two. But get that nap or that rest time in there. And it says immersion in a long warm bath, and other things that you can of course add to your bath that's going to be very soothing for you are going to be like Epsom salt, sea salt, or Himalayan salt. They all work differently in a bath, so it'll be more so what you're looking for. The Epsom salt has magnesium in it for people who are low in some of their minerals. That's going to help. And then Himalayan salt actually helps with spiritual connections, and then the sea salt is more purifying. And so you can combine any of them, add a little bit even of hydrogen peroxide to your water, or a food grade hydrogen peroxide, or you could add some herbs, some oils, and give yourself a spiritual bath as well. You can put the crystals that we carry around in the bath with you, as long as they're ones that tolerate water well, because some of them don't. So things like lavender, rose hips, all types of things can be added to your bath water. And then this one also says alternate nostril breathing procedure. So when you are meditating, there is and you can look this up on YouTube too, different ways that you can alternate how you are breathing. Just not necessarily that you're breathing out your mouth and then you're not in your nose, but that you are delegating which nostril is actually open or closed during your breathing. All right, so those are some things that can help get the fatigue out. Go for a walk. Also, just get up, walk around the block, just to get your blood flowing a little bit more. It's going to help also with your lymphatic system and help to decrease fatigue. Sometimes when you don't have time to sleep, or you don't want to go to sleep, you can just go ahead and take that 15-minute circle around the block, and it's going to give you what you need. So some other things that might be coming up this week might be a cough. So if you experience a cough, you might want to try some slippery elm, or put some thyme in your tea. If you have any type of congestion, it says here to use elecampane. That's something I've actually never heard of. It's a root tea, and so you can make a tea out of that. Chamomile is always good for calming the body, the stomach, easing muscle spasms, and things like that. And then it says crow's feet, and so this is a time of year where the sun is, getting to be the strongest, and so sometimes people are squinting. I squint. I know when there's sun out. Luckily, I've got a good elasticity in my skin, and I haven't gotten those crow's feet. But those crow's feet, if you don't know, are those little lines that people tend to get here, like on the side of their eyes. Sometimes people get frown marks in here, and so it's saying sun glare plays a role. Squint long and often enough, and the temporary wrinkle patterns that form in the corners of your eyes will eventually become permanent. So a lot of people are sun gazing, and it wakens up the body. It activates that vitamin D, and so it does a lot of beautiful things. But me, I know even when I sit in the sun, sometimes I have my eyes open, but most of the time I have my eyes closed. But I can still feel and see the light and the changes in the radiation of the rays from the sun, even with my lids closed. So that's an option as well. But you might want to just add some collagen into your diet regimen. Try to get one that's vegan, so it doesn't have any dairy or any of the other little harsh chemicals in it. And I don't believe in sunscreen, so if somebody knows of a healthy version of something that you can put on your skin that works as like a natural sun repellent, let me know. And then it says to re-moisturize with cocoa, and so you can take and make some take some cocoa, wet it, and use it as a mask and place it around your eyes. Or you can use coconut oil and then some cocoa powder, mix them together and put them around your eyes. And I saw cuts and scrapes, so be careful if you're getting some cuts and scrapes, especially if you have any type of edema in that area. It's going to cause cuts and scrapes to heal much slower. So then you want to make sure that you are keeping that area clean. And then it's going to depend on your environment, how humid and hot it is, whether or not you want to keep it wrapped up or allow it to get air. So just pay close attention to that. So let's see if there's any crystals that speak to us this week that we can carry. And it says to make a ring of crystals. Okay, and so there's a crystal ring called a basic circle. So you cleanse them and you take them outside in the grass and let them soak up the sun's rays for recharge. So these are for crystals that can charge in the sun. And then you can either, this is saying to make a ring of crystals for you to sit in, and then you can also make a ring of crystals, and make a ring for your finger. I'm just seeing, there's some other stuff that it's talking about here. So it's saying to do some grounding, go outside, sit on the ground, make a circle of crystals and just sit in it and meditate. So again, it's saying to recharge underneath out in the sun, and then to then if you're doing that afterwards, go ahead and put those cocoa patches on your skin just to make sure that you haven't irritated it. And it says that this person says that they use 34 crystals to do that. You don't necessarily have to have that many. If you only have 5 crystals or a couple crystals, just sit them around you. If you can find some other natural elements, if you don't have any crystals, you can put some flowers around you. You can carefully, if you know you're like on the edge of concrete, put a candle on the concrete that's still, you know, surrounding you, but you're maybe in the grass. Just improvise and, you know, do with it what you can do with it, and just, you know, sit there and soak up some sun. Many of us are missing vitamin D, even, you know, like hair loss and different stuff like that. A lot of people have had weight loss surgeries. All of those things tend to cause vitamin D deficiency. So the more sun you can get in that aspect, the better off you will be. So let me see if it's going to offer or speak on any specific type of crystals. I'm seeing place quartz crystals. It's talking about making a circle using tumbled crystals. And those are more rough, the rough crystals that are more like ones that you would find outside, that you can find in like deserty areas, or in Little Rock, how they have all the rocks out there. Like those are the types of crystals that you would be pulling directly out of the ground. So that makes sense for them to be going into a circle where you are allowing yourself to sit and get some energy. So it's saying get outside, we outside, and soak up some sun. Go for a walk if you're feeling tired. Do some extra stuff that is good for your lymphatic system. Eat more fruits and vegetables, which are things that are also going to be coming out of that ground. Hey, maybe you want to start a garden. If you already have a garden, start plucking through and cleaning out the weeds. It's a therapeutic thing, you know, to work in a garden. And so it's a self-care that can be a physical self-care, and then it's rewarding because you're actually picking up the actual fruits of your labor and then feeding them into your body. So how many different times does this garden bless you, you know? And for those of you who, you know, you're looking at the garden as the seeds that you're planting, how can you shine some light on it? We talked about this the other day, so you can find that bridge crossing reading that was for the beginning of the week. How can you shine some light on it? How can you water it? How can you give it some fertilizer? How can you make sure that the soil and the plants are planted deep enough, and so that the seeds that you are growing are actually going to be able to sprout? All right, so that is the healing process for the week of June 11th through the 17th. Please let me know if this resonates with you, helps you in any way, shape, or form, and share it with anyone who you think needs to hear it. Do not forget, personal readings are available. You can visit my websites, either manifestthatdream.com or readings.ibflawless.com to schedule your personal reading. I am Miss Indigo Blue. I thank you so much for stopping through, and I'm going to leave you with my mantra, which is, when it gets hectic, don't forget, I've got it, you've got it, we've got it. The power. And you can do anything and everything you set your mind to with your power. May it be for your greatest good or your greatest other. I'm Miss Indigo Blue, and I'll see you here again next time. Ciao.